idea that such a thing existed, really. There isn't an equivalent in Britain. And clearly it's been running for a long time in America. But I, never having spent any long period of time in the US, I'd never come across it. So when I was asked to do it, I then began to learn what this hosting job was. And obviously Alistair Cook is a huge presence to follow. And then all the other actors who were involved. And the current crop, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Laura Linney and of Alan Cumming. So to line up beside them was something I was very pleased to do. And to be presenting these pieces of work, which are really the finest of British television drama. I'm aware that some shows I've been in have showed in previous seasons. And clearly that was the cream of British drama. So I'm very happy to be part of this whole show. If we can just get Laura Linney to change her accent, then we've got a clean sweep. So that's what I'm now. That's going to be my mission for the next few months. So that if we all come back and do this again next year, we've got a 3 Scot strike rate. Laura Linney's actually Scottish. She pretends she's got this kind of, American accent. Don't listen. She's deep cover. She's actually from Dundee. I wanted to be an actor from a oddly precocious age. I was probably 3 or 4 when I suddenly struck on the notion that this would be a fun thing to do. And I think probably the fact that I decided from such a young age when one can be idealistic and slightly unrealistic is probably what means I'm still doing it now. I think if I'd hit upon the idea later in life, I would have been aware of the unlikelihood of ever making a living as an actor, and that might have scared me off. But no, I was always going to do it from being a kid and watching TV shows and understanding very early on what an actor's job was. I always wonder when people say, "Oh, children don't really get the line between fantasy and reality." I'm not sure that I believe that. But, if you're 3 or 4 and you're watching TV, one of the shows that's going to have a huge impact on you is Doctor Who. It certainly did on me. And that was one of the first shows I remember then having conversations with my parents about what that meant and what the people who were doing this were. And clearly he wasn't actually a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. And once I'd established that, I then began to understand what an actor was and what that job was. And really, it's like playing for a living, isn't it? So I guess that seems to me to be the perfect thing to do with my life. And, I'd say that's still the case. Funnily enough, Casanova ended up being my prolonged audition piece for Doctor Who. I didn't realise this at the time. And clearly that wasn't why they cast me. But whilst I was doing Casanova, I think Russell T Davies, who'd written that, who was then showrunner on Doctor Who, and Julie Gardner, the executive producer on both projects, realised that they would be looking for somebody to take over in Doctor Who. I didn't realise the job was up for grabs at the time. So it was as a result of that, meeting Russell and working with him and Julie, that I then became in the frame for Doctor Who. I don't know that I'd agree that either Doctor Who or Casanova are particularly comedic. I think they have funny bits in it. But I think they have a joie de vivre, which I think isn't necessarily the same as meaning it's a comedy. I think they have a life about them. They have some very funny lines in there. Russell's a very funny man and a very funny writer. But then so does life, I think. I think that's how life works. That you have... we spend a lot of time in life trying to make each other laugh. It's a very reasonable simulacrum of our existence. That there's a lot of funny bits happen to us, a lot of funny stuff happens in life, and that's balanced by the more sombre moments and the more serious, high-stakes moments. And I think Doctor Who and Casanova both reflect that. It's also, there are dramatic advantages to having some lighter moments before the more dramatic moments. They offset each other. I mean, that's what Shakespeare did, and that's what all the great writers have done. So yeah, there's a lot of comedy, I think, in Casanova and in Doctor Who. There's a lot of gravity and drama too, and I think the two augment each other rather well.